Jerusalem. Well, it's outside Jerusalem. People like to say this is Jerusalem, but it's really outside. But anyway, look what I'm standing right in front of. It's another mural that is integrating the Iranian movement, the Iranian freedom movement, Women Life Freedom, here in Israel. Very interesting. And I've got the initiator of this uh, right here, Human Khalili.
That's right.
Khalili, or should I say Khalili?
Both is good.
Okay, and can you just quickly explain, like, you've got, this is
Yes.
the first time you've got a man. Usually you've been showing, like, the Iranian women from Masa Amini, to all the way to that little girl who was
That's right.
crying at her mother's grave. But now you've got a man. So explain why you've diverted from
So,
the usual.
so here we have Toomaj, and Toomaj is he is a rapper who is sentenced to death because of his lyrics. Now we put his lyrics in the mural. It's from one of his songs named Karoon. And Karoon says, "The cries of the oppressed fill my chest. My throat is swollen with their pain. The blood of our protesters is my ink." So it's those lyrics that are getting him unfortunately executed. And then we have the hashtag free too much. We have the words woman, life, freedom. We have the hands that form the heart, the hand of Israel and the hand of Iran, to remind the world that the Persians and the Jews have been friends for 3,000 years. We've only been enemies for less than 50. And then finally, because I love Jesus, I put a Bible verse. Psalm 59:1. And I put Toomaj's name there. This is the prayer for Toomaj. God, deliver Toomaj from his enemies, O God. Be his fortress and rescue Toomaj from those who attack him. So when you think about Toomaj, when you think about this mural, when you think about this day, when you think about the injustice in Iran, pray that prayer for Toomaj.
Why is putting this up in Israel going to help, or do you believe it's going to help, and if so, how? It's going to help him get off. He's sentenced to death just for his protest of the regime.
If I was to put this mural in Kansas City or Dallas, Texas, no one would care. But because Israel is arguably the most important place in the entire world, this is the holy land for the whole world. I think putting it here is like an atomic bomb. I'm putting it in the home of Iran's number one enemy, and I'm doing this for a lot of reasons. But because this will hopefully get the eyes of the world to look upon this poor, young, beautiful man who has done nothing wrong.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I appreciate that. This is number 11, right?
Yeah, number 11.
And you're about to go unveil number 12.
Yeah, in like 30 minutes. Come back, everybody, in 30 minutes.
I won't be on in 30 minutes, but hopefully somebody else will be. But so 800 people have been executed in Iran who participated in protests against the regime. I think it's just in the last year is what they say. So now he's on death row. Now also there's another artist, Shervin Hajiapur,
Yeah.
who wrote a song that sort of became the anthem of this movement. And he won a Grammy in absentia, but he won a Grammy. And for that, he was also put in prison. So, as you know, this is spotlighting what is happening in Iran, and starting with Masa Amini. If you remember, she was killed for having her hijab not properly on, and the morality police arrested her, and she was beaten and died in prison as a result of that. And it sparked protests, which seemingly have quieted down, but at the same time, there are still people protesting, and there are still people getting arrested and killed because of that. So anyway, this is happening just outside of Jerusalem. This is if you've heard of this is the famous Elvis Diner. Yes, Elvis Presley, and it's on the way from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. And one of the stops. We're outside Neve Ilan is the name of the closest town, and this is the intersection right here. And so mural number 11. Now, I was at the first one, in, I think it was January of 2022. The first one was put up in Talpiot, right by my house, actually, right where we live, just a few minutes away. And it featured four women, including Masa Amini, and four other women who had been killed in the initial protests. And since then, Human, who is an Iranian who lives in the U.S., he's an Iranian American. He has an interesting story himself. He and his mother fled. He was, I think, 1 or 2 years old when she fled with him to the U.S. And when she was in the U.S., she converted. She was a Muslim, but there was a local church that took care of her and helped her in the first few years there. And she, saw the kindness and the love of God, and she decided to become a Christian. So Human is a Christian, and he started making these. Murals like this. He was involved in a movement of making murals like this in the U.S., particularly in California, but they eventually put them up all over the world. And he wanted to do this as well here in Israel. And somebody actually, so who's here, Emily Schrader, well, she's back there. Anyway, she's a journalist here in Israel. She had seen that and she said, wow, we need to do that here. So she got in touch with the former deputy mayor, who I'm looking for, former deputy mayor of Jerusalem. Look at you. I don't see her, who got involved and found a way to get one of these murals on a wall in Jerusalem. And anyway, that should have been that's amazing enough, right? Combining Iran and Israel in Jerusalem, and that should have been enough. But um, Human said, "I want to do 18 of these." I think initially he said he wants to do like some crazy number, like 48 or so. I don't know, like 50, and they talked him down to 18. So he's on 11, and they're about to go dedicate number 12. And initially it was just all about the women. So in addition, I should link to a video that I did, because it wasn't just about, thank you for holding this. Of course. I appreciate it. So initially it was about the women who were killed, but many women as well in Iran who were protesting. They actually just like shot their eye out, or near their eye, like just one eye. And Human was saying, like, the eye is a symbol of beauty. So when you take out an eye, you like destroy the woman's beauty. So that was one way that they started torturing. Like, they didn't jail and execute everybody, but they would shoot out the eyes of some of them. And so he did a series, first of the ones who were killed, and then of one of other women whose eyes were shut out, and he put like in one, like a peacock over the eye. I'm describing your his theory here, that, and he put a peacock over the eye. And anyway, very interesting to like restore the beauty. um, anyway, here you go, there's Elvis back there. So that's the story from here. I'm going to hop off now, but thank you for joining, and I will link the video so you can learn, probably in a more organized fashion than me spouting out on a live. But I will link the video that I did of when this mural actually made an they put it and did an exhibition at Jerusalem's Islamic Museum of Art. And it was actually an amazing. He did the main mural for that exhibition, but at that exhibition, it was like so carefully curated. All of the art that has come out of this protest movement, and it was just shocking and amazing to see. And I think in the world today, with technology as it is, and the ability to communicate really fast with people around the world, that it's takes on a different trajectory than it maybe had in the past. So there were a lot of trends and themes that came out of the Iranian women's movement, and hopefully those people who can get arrested for just singing a song that they don't like the lyrics of, or wearing a hijab, but improperly, according to their rules. Hopefully, people like that will one day see and taste the freedom that they've been fighting for. So, anyway, ciao for now.